Hi and welcome to another OptionMaster live stream. Yeah, today we want to have a look at the market. It's Friday, yeah, option expiring day, at least for the weekly ones. And yeah, we just have a look at what stocks to pick. I fixed the screener, so this works as well. Let's start right away. Los geht's. Yes, this was quite a positive week, I would say. And yeah, now the ending doesn't look so good anymore. But okay, after such a week, that's okay to get some pullback. Maybe I can show you here on the US 500. Maybe I will join you as well. So here we go. The US 500 looks like it ran today a bit, but now it comes back. If you go to the 15-minute chart, we see now a bigger sell-off at the mid of the day in the US. So I guess that's okay still. We see what happens at the end of the day. This is always a bit more exciting, when there comes a high volume and everybody tries to rescue the options. I guess the weekly expirations are not that exciting, I would say, but still, yeah. So the market reacts to it, and you see that the stocks which have options on these weekly basis try to tend to the stock price where there is a weekly option. Yeah? So if it's a $7.50 stock, for example, and there's a $7.50 option, then it really tries to close at this value at the end. It's always quite fun to see, because you know exactly that some big boy sold a lot of calls at this strike price, or bought a lot of puts or something, you know. So it's always quite interesting to see. Yeah, so I fixed a bit the OptionMaster tool. So last time it didn't work with the screener. Now it looks okay, I hope. So we see what comes out of it. So I just did the introduction video of the OptionMaster tool. You can find it on the channel. So the first part is out. It will be a 3-part series, because it's quite extensive to explain everything in quite bit detail, I would say. So, but the first part is already out. The second part is already produced. So this can be this can be watched then a bit later. I guess I will just upload it tomorrow, so everybody has something for each day. Yeah. So, but now I guess we can just take a look at it and see what stocks are hot at the moment. And maybe we can analyze some together, maybe see some deals, maybe we can find some stocks for our watch list, so that we can collect them together. Yeah? So that we can collect the watch list together, let it grow. That would be always quite nice, I would say. Hi, Amdi, it's nice to see you again. Yeah, always nice to have someone watching. Okay, so let's start jumping into the OptionMaster. You already saw it. This was the project we started earlier. So this is the streaming project, I would say it. I had a few thoughts about maybe using my personal project to just show everything, but I guess it's a bit too detailed. Yeah, so I will just tell you what I did last week, and maybe you can find some inspiration in that. But otherwise, I would just keep it this way, that we keep our live streams in this separate project file. Regarding the OptionMaster, and everything I did, I can just maybe shortly mention. So, and the first thing I did was I rolled some options, actually. So there were some opportunities to get nice premium, extra premium over time by rolling options I had for a longer while, and which are still quite deep in the money. So I sold Alteryx put at a quite high strike price. There was just a good opportunity to roll it, because by rolling the option, it's always quite important to have a look at the difference in the volatility, implied volatility. And here in the short term, the implied volatility was a bit higher than in the long term, or at least the ratio was a bit higher. So there was quite a good opportunity to roll into the future. If in the short term the options are quite cheap to buy back, and in the long term the options are still a bit more expensive, it's always best to find these opportunities to roll an option into the future, if you want to roll the option into the future. Yeah, so the other way around is always quite bad. Yeah? Okay, so this was one thing I did. Then I sold a put on AI. C3 AI had some kind of outbreak out of its channel. Maybe I can show you into the in the browser. If you have a look at AI, this looks actually quite good. Yeah. C3 AI, maybe not the 15 minutes. Let's take the day chart so we see it a bit better. So we had this downtrend, which has been quite a long time. So since 1st of September, there was the first outbreak, trying to break out, but this didn't succeed, and then we had a huge sell-off. But now I have the feeling the selling off is a bit decreasing. You know, it's not that big of a selling pressure anymore in C3 AI, and actually we had then we tried to break out of this channel, which looked quite okay, I would say. Now today it touched again this outbreaking line, and I hope that we can stay above it. At least maybe, you know, sometimes it just drags along this line a bit longer, and afterwards then we get this movement to the upwards. So I guess it's still quite good position to sell some options on C3 AI. If you believe in the company, of course, yeah, you always have to keep in mind if the stock price falls, you will be stuck with 100 of the underlying, which would be then C3 AI. Yeah. So maybe you can have a look at the option, or maybe at the actual the current prices we would get for this option. I think I sold the, let's have a look. I sold the April 22 45 put I sold for over $600. So this is always quite nice. Then let's have a look into the OptionMaster to see what we get at the moment, and also to get a feeling. Maybe you can just put it in here. That would be quite nice. So we go to the April. This one, 14th of April. The 45 put of C3 AI is not displayed. Okay, this is not so good. Maybe I put something wrong. No, the 45 put is not displayed, so I could just sell it from here. So we just added, we put in the 45 strike price, and then we add the value. This was 610 for and 18 cents. Just keep it like that. And this was yesterday actually. So let's just add it. Or we can actually also analyze the Greeks. Oh, no, not 100. We just add one. So 45 strike. It's still at SoFi. Okay, that was a problem. I didn't get to C3 AI. Now we have also the 45 strike price. Okay, but I got just 610. So we add this here, and we see the Greeks are quite okay. So it's 2.4%. Over such a long time frame, it's still okay, I would say. I always try to keep above 2% with a more sure number. Yeah, so like C3 AI looks like it found a bottom. So that's why I said, okay, we have a support line here. And still I sold the put below the current value, which always gives a bit more downside. We see now here downside protection 20%. This is quite okay, I would say. That's why I added it here. So, and yeah, $610 is nothing to be ashamed of, I would say. Okay, then we can just add it here. One put. I just delete this stock. This was for the video actually, and I also delete this SoFi position. So we have a bit more cleaner. So we're a bit more cleaner here. And then we see our current profit is almost $610 because of the fees we just paid for this position. Yeah. But you see, it's quite easy to use the tool. I really like it, and yeah, if you have any comments to the tool, please let me also know. Yeah, if you found some bug, this is always quite handy to know, so we can improve it a bit together. Yeah, so this was a position I added. Then we had some other stuff going on. I built a position in PaySafe, or actually I increased a bit my position in PaySafe. So there also the profit, the short-term profit for PaySafe was also quite nice. Maybe I can just add this here as well. PaySafe SPSFE. So I added a position on, I think it was Monday or 2nd. Yes, I think it was the 2nd. Now I see that I'm maybe a bit. So maybe you can hear me now a bit better. The microphone was a bit far away. Happens sometimes. Okay, there I sold the November put actually because I wanted to increase my position, and I sold the 7.5 for $39 actually, and this was on this 3rd, and then we can also add this position. And you see with the Greeks, this is still 9.4% profit per month, so it's quite a lot actually. And I wanted to use it, so maybe I also anticipated that maybe we will be end below the $7.50 strike price to adjust to 100 stock a bit more at a discount to the price it was trading at this time. Yeah, now it's below 750, but yeah, who knows? So if we add this, then we get also our position here. So at the moment we are going down with our profit because the strike price is now below the or the current stock price is below the strike price. That's why the profit of this position will be going down. And then also we have we are below the strike price at the moment. So yeah, we see how this will progress in the future. Okay, so these were the 2 positions I added. Otherwise, it's more or less, I just have a look at it. So I sold a lot of options before we saw this mini crash today. And not today, but a few days ago already. So deleveraged a bit, I would say. But otherwise, I didn't sell any puts anymore. Yeah. Okay, so this is the first thing I wanted to show you. So a few options sold, and then we can switch to the analysis tab to find some deals. Basically, I already had this golden list running. Maybe I can start it again so it gets completed at the end. And there we see maybe there are a few possibilities we can have a look at. For example, the high or the light green ones are the ones with the highest profit per stock price per day. So this is always quite aggressive strategies, I would say. So we really have to check these stocks if they maybe didn't ran up to some point in the past. Yeah. So if they have like a steep increase in stock price in the last few weeks or so, then of course the options premium will be quite high. And because the tool only analyzes at the current stock price, we have to really check if this is still feasible for an options play. Yeah, if the stock is still feasible for an options play, because the profit per month will be quite high with these up there. But the first thing we could do is using the analysis function of the OptionMaster to find out how large the downside protection, for example, is. Yeah, so this will also then keep in mind the stock movements of the past. So there we get a bit more information if it's feasible to sell options on this play specifically. Yeah, because if the stock is dropping all the time, then the option will be selected quite below our current price. And then it will not be as profitable to sell options on, and the program will tell us that. For example, if we have a look at these options, we see Lucid quite high with a 5.4% profit, Open Door with 7.4% per month, and Skills with 5.6% per month, and Skills still with a relatively okay strike price, like 10. I guess it was a spec, so 10 is like the floor, the floor value where the big guys bought in, basically. So this is maybe still a good idea, yeah. And then we see Didi, because of the huge downside movement we saw in Didi in the past, it suggests here selling the $5 put, yeah, which is quite far away. Downside protection of 40% or 39% at this point, which is really, really far away. And so maybe that's not the best idea to sell puts then on Didi if we think that the downside movement from the past will continue into the future. Yeah. So that's why maybe Didi would fall out here, but Skills looks quite nice actually. Still, I mean, they had quite a run up, but now they came back a bit. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can see this here. So the stock price is going a bit lower. Maybe I can also just zoom in here a bit more. Then you see we had some price drop. They went from over. This is on the downside right. You can also see the price when you hover over it. So it was 12.47. And now it's at 11.23, so still already dropped 10%. So maybe here is also now a good way to start positions here. Yeah, maybe a bit more downside protection. Maybe we can we can decrease the assignment probability a bit to get even a strike price below this. But I guess that will be $7. Maybe we can have a look at it and add it also to our watch list, so we always can see if it's profitable or not to sell puts on it. So let's have a look. Skills, if we say take the 17th of December expiration, then analyze it. Takes always a bit time, but you see now this drop price. Now we're already below the 9-day moving average, which is quite a nice sign. Yeah, try to sell below the average. Yeah, this is always better than trying to sell puts above the average. Okay, so we got this $70 put with a 4.5% profit per month. This looks quite okay, and I wanted to check downside protection, 16.8%. Yeah. This doesn't look too bad, I would say. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this would be a candidate actually to start a position on. Maybe downside movement is still can continue a bit to the present. Let me just check the chart real quick. Therefore, I need to change some things here. Okay, let's go to Chrome and have a look at skills a bit more in detail. Good idea. Skills. I guess there was also an announcement that Kathy Wood already bought back into skills, but I think the numbers were not so good in the past. So we see now this is the 50-day moving average, and we touched it a bit, but it got bought back up again. Now we see a bit more acceleration to the downside here. So red candle again. So I guess maybe we could just wait to get below the 50-day moving average to start a position in skills. So because it's always better to get below the higher moving averages. Yeah. So if it's below 50, then maybe we can collect it a bit more cheaply. Yeah. Or just capitalize on the downward pressure we see at the stock. Just temporary downward pressure. Or I hope it will be temporary downward pressure. That will be always quite nice. Yeah. But this would be a candidate we could keep in mind. So let's have a look at the other options we want to see. And maybe we can just compare some in parallel. Yeah, so Open Door had just a big downside movement again, but still stock is up from $13 to $20, I think, at the moment. So maybe, I just paused the golden list so I can keep my selection here. Open Door, that would be quite interesting. So I just select the ones I really know. So Open Door, Lucid is also something which can be quite lucrative to sell options on. Then IonQ is also a spec, but I don't like this one. I really wouldn't like this one in my portfolio. Lucid at this price actually also a bit high for my taste, but I guess it's a bit popular, so I just take it in. And then Edu, we don't want to have Edu. CLF would be maybe a good idea. This is Cleveland Cliffs. This is a steel producer which also trades quite volatilely. Is quite volatile actually. So maybe this would also be a way to increase my position in a more defensive stock, I would say. So let's have a look at this. Then of course Didi. I think Didi can have a nice future again after the valuation got really slaughtered after the IPO in the USA. I hope that the issues they had with the government, because at the moment you can't download the app anymore, that they will be resolved in some time. Yeah. So maybe we can just see. Okay, now I selected something which doesn't have so many stock options. I think it's Cleveland Cliffs. No. Okay, Open Door. It works. Sometimes I don't get the expiration dates for specific stocks, and then if you want to compare them, you need the same exact dates. So we just have to keep now Open Door, Cleveland Cliffs, and Didi maybe, and then have a look at these three. Yeah. Yes. So no, Didi also doesn't have any expirations at the moment. So the problem is that the data provided by Yahoo Finance is not always the best, and then sometimes you don't get any values. So this is a bit dragging, but I can't do anything against it. Yeah. So we have to live with what we got. But we can compare Open Door with Cleveland Cliffs at the moment. Maybe we can see if we can analyze the other ones a bit more in a single. So let's have a look. If something doesn't work, then just start comparing it to a different time. Yeah. So maybe then 50 minutes later we get values again. So yeah, so for example, I don't get any values for OpenDoor at the moment, which is a bit of that's a shame. I just put in this 100. And let's see if I analyze it. Yes, okay, now we have this 3 skills from the left-hand side. So the watch list and the goal list are analyzed together. And then, OpenDoor, the $100 now I had to enter myself because I didn't find any value. But we see the skills here with a $40, $7.50 put. And here we see Cleveland Cliffs at 22 with 8% profit per month. Okay, but they also had some downward pressure. So maybe this is quite a good idea. Maybe we can have a look at Cleveland Cliffs a bit more in detail at in the browser. So therefore, we these see what it's trading at. So it had quite a movement in the past. I guess we're coming from $2 even from the Corona low, and then it got up to 22 now. And since then, we're quite over in a sideways movement. And then now we saw a big sell-off after the earnings, but earnings were quite okay. So we had some positive earnings here. They made they had sales of $6 billion and they were only expecting 5.6. And then we see EPS, they met almost 2.33 and they thought it would be 2.22. So this is quite okay, I guess. So, but the surprise is not that big. Yeah, so maybe that's why the sell-off is happening. Sell-offs always happen quite regularly at this time, I would say. So maybe this would still be a nice play to do. Then, of course, we have some other stocks here in this list. Maybe just have a look at some of them because often I just don't recognize the ticker. So VEDL is something I didn't know before. So let's have a look what they do. This is Vendetta Limited. Looks like it's from, let's have a look what it's from. So it's aluminum. Looks like they're doing natural resource company which engages in the exploration, extraction, and processing of minerals, oil, and gas properties. Okay. I think, they also grew quite aggressively from $3.3 to $16.70 at the moment. Okay, that would explain also the high premium, but we see a lot of buying pressure now. So the volume is increasing. We have a more or less flat stock price at this moment, and they beat the sales estimates, but they missed the earnings or the profit basically. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, but I'm not so familiar with this energy sector, so I would just avoid this at this moment because it's quite unclear where we are landing in the future regarding renewable energies. Yeah, so if they are in the exact opposite part, then maybe it's not the best idea to start positions in something like this. So I wouldn't want to own such a company over the next 5 to 10 years. So basically this, and then it falls out of my scope basically. Yeah, so maybe we can just remove this again, then see what we have again. So OpenDoor I know quite well. I already did a video on my main channel about them, so if you want, you can check this out. They are a iBuying company, so they buy and sell homes via their app basically. And it's quite convenient for the users to sell their homes because they can select specific dates when they want to sell something, which is quite a nice thing. Yeah, and they also are quite efficient with that. Yeah, so they don't need so much capital to buy and sell these homes. Like a normal real estate agent would take, for example. Yeah. Then Oxygen. This is this is a biotech company, and I think they brought out some new product there, but I'm not quite familiar with this one, so it's not my expertise, I would say. But maybe we can have a look at them. CGN. maybe we see what's happening, what they say here. So, you know, this is like a big jump from 30 cents to $10. So that's why I don't feel so comfortable starting positions in this, yeah, after such a big surge. And it's still not profitable. We don't see any growth here in this in these numbers. So this is not feasible, I would say, for myself. But yeah, biotech company, it says here. Maybe I can show it here. Ocugen is a biotech company which engages in the development and commercialization of therapeutics to cure eye diseases. Yeah, and I think they had some kind of breakthrough there. That's why the stock price is surging so high, and that's why also the premiums are through the roof at the moment. Yeah. So let's have a look again. OXY. This is nothing I know. Occidental Petroleum. Okay, Occidental Petroleum with a high implied volatility. This is interesting because I think it's a more defensive stock, and then we see a bit more higher premium rates there. Okay, yeah, they had this movement upward. I think this was not so little, I would say. So this is still, okay, 51%. This is quite a move upward. Yeah, okay, then it makes sense that maybe they they also see quite high premiums at the moment after such a move. Yeah, so this is quite interesting. And maybe we can have a look at them because sometimes people like to trade a bit more on more of these conservative stocks, also options, because then if the tech, if something would happen in the tech sector, then it would not affect their portfolio so much. Yeah. What was the ticker? OXY. So let's go back to master and then have a look at OXY. Maybe also something like around December. See what's it trading at. OXY is down below here, and then we see, it suggests to sell the 30 put for $85. So that's why, because we had a bit more downside pressure from the stock in the past. That's why I guess the strike price it wants to sell is a bit below our current price. Yeah. So if there's an uptrend, it would suggest maybe even selling a bit higher. And here we only have 1.8% because of this. Maybe we go down a bit in the future. Yeah. This projection depending on the past. So it's not that profitable. Yeah, I guess it's profitable if you sell it at the current strike price. So let's have a look at this OXY at the current strike price. So let's have a look at these. I guess there it's more expensive. So if we go to the December, and we're trading at 33, and then let's have a look at 33. If you want to sell a put at 33, yeah, then we get the big numbers. Then we get 4.2% till the December expiration. So 4.2% per month is quite high already, yeah, especially for such a defensive stock price. Yeah, interesting. So this would be something someone could consider who wanted to also invest in this sector. Okay. Then let's continue with the list. Then we have Plug Power in the O2 space. Yeah. So this is hydrogen space. This is quite interesting, but yeah, also not. I think it's still way in the future. This complete hydrogen space. So Plug Power wouldn't be an investment for myself. And I think because they also don't have any earnings or anything. If we take a look at them here, Plug Power. To edit. Yeah, you see they're still losing quite a lot of money, and so this doesn't look too good. Maybe you can look at the quarterly numbers. Okay, here now we have some bit of up movement here, but it's still not that much, I would say. And then we already have a market cap of $22 billion, and with nothing, almost nothing, on sales. Yeah, so this is. Yeah, it's not my cup of tea. Let's leave it like this. Okay, then we can have a look weiter. This is GZAT. GZAT, I don't know actually. GZAT is something new to me. So maybe we can check this out. Global Star. Interesting. Okay, look what they do. And you can see as well. So Global Star engages in the provision of mobile satellite services. Interesting, okay? It offers voice and data communication services to following markets: recreation and personal, government, public safety, and disaster relief, oil and gas, maritime. Interesting, okay. Yeah, I think they were also a spec, weren't they? No, they were not spec. Otherwise, there would have been a $10 bottom here somewhere. But they have risen quite a bit actually, from 33 cents to $1.64. And let's have a look at the earnings here. So they increased not really over the last years, and they made quite a bit of loss last year. And if we take a look at the quarterly earnings, it's also going down the last 3 quarters. And now we had a bit of up movement from 26 million or 27 million or to 30 million. Yeah. So maybe there is some growth here in the future, but I don't see it currently in the at the current state. Yeah. So maybe this would be something to keep a look at in the future. Yeah. Because I think this space theme is quite attractive for investors in the future. So this would be quite nice to have a look at. And yeah, so let's see if we find something a bit more feasible for today. So is this Ford maybe? Check. Yeah, Ford Motors. So okay. Okay, yeah, they had like a huge up movement now, Ford Motors. So maybe that's why they also sell at quite a bit of premium. Yeah, what I would like to see in a stock when I sell an option is when we have a downside movement and an increase in implied volatility. So this is always quite nice to see, because then you can sell the strike prices a bit closer to the current stock price, which is quite nice, because then you can get even more time value premium in the stock, which can depreciate over the time. And you can then also sell these options for even higher price, because the implied volatility is so high. And if they trade at somewhere a high support level or a good support level, then also the probability of it breaking through the support level, even especially if it's in an uptrend, then is always the best idea to. I think it is the best idea to start like these short puts on. At Ford, I never would do this at the moment, because we ran also. What's this going to increase here? This is 60%, so they ran 60%, and the probability of a correction at this point is quite high, I would say. If you have a look at the left hand side here, then you also see that it ran in the past quite a bit and then sold off almost again to the bottom. And if I sell now here, maybe for $200 or $300, or maybe not even, maybe $200 a put, and then it falls back to 14 or 15, then I still lose 300. So it doesn't make any sense. So I would just keep it. I wouldn't start a position then at this point in time in Ford. Okay, so I take it out as well.